Welcome to Story Voyage, where we dive into the most gripping and unbelievable stories straight from Reddit. Get ready to uncover secrets, twists, and tales you won't forget. I found out she was cheating through an anonymous warning letter. So, here's my story. For context, my name is Ethan and my wife, Ilara, and I had been married for 5 years. Ilara was always the kind of person who could light up a room. She had this rare charisma that made people gravitate toward her. I used to feel lucky being the one she chose, but that luck eventually started to feel like a curse. It all began a month ago when I received a plain white envelope in the mail. No return address, just my name written in blocky letters. I remember thinking it might be a prank or some sort of junk mail, but when I opened it, my heart stopped. Inside was a single piece of paper with a typed message. You deserve to know the truth. Ilara is not who you think she is. Check her phone when she's in the shower, especially around 8 p.m. A friend. My first instinct was to crumple it up and throw it away. It had to be a joke, right? Ilara and I were solid, or so I thought, but the message stuck with me like an itch I couldn't scratch. That evening, I casually asked her how her day was, and she smiled, her usual radiant smile, telling me about work and her plans for the weekend. She didn't seem off. If anything, she was more affectionate than usual. That should have reassured me, but instead, it made me suspicious. For the next few days, I wrestled with my paranoia. Was this anonymous person just trying to mess with me? Or was there something real behind it? Eventually, curiosity got the better of me. One night, around 7:45 p.m., Ilara said she was going to take a shower. My hands were shaking as I grabbed her phone from the nightstand. She rarely locked it, claiming she had nothing to hide. I felt guilty even before I unlocked it. But then I saw the messages. Her texts with someone named Leo were buried under her other conversations, but they weren't hard to find. They weren't explicit, at least not the ones I saw, but they didn't need to be. The way she called him love and talked about their plans to meet at a hotel downtown was enough. My chest felt tight and my hands started to sweat. When she came out of the shower, I tried to act normal, but I could barely meet her eyes. She noticed immediately. Is everything okay? She asked, her voice dripping with concern. Yeah, just tired, I muttered, but inside I was screaming. For the next week, I played detective. I didn't confront her right away because I needed more proof. I wanted to know how far this went, so I checked her phone whenever I got the chance. And each time I found more breadcrumbs. They'd been seeing each other for months. He wasn't just some random fling. He was someone she cared about or thought she did. The final straw came when I followed her one Saturday afternoon. She told me she was meeting her friends for brunch, but my gut told me otherwise. I saw her park at a small cafe a few towns over, and sure enough, Leo was waiting for her. They hugged like they hadn't seen each other in years, and I just sat there in my car, watching my marriage fall apart. That night, I confronted her. I told her about the letter and the messages. At first, she denied everything, but when I told her I'd followed her, she broke down. Ilara, I said, trying to keep my voice steady, how long has this been going on? She sobbed into her hands, and for a moment, I almost felt sorry for her. 4 months, she finally admitted. I wanted to scream, to throw something, but instead I just stood there in silence. The woman I thought I knew, the woman I'd promised to love forever, had been lying to me for months. I left that night, packed a bag and drove to my brother's place. Ilara called and texted nonstop, begging me to come back, saying it was a mistake and that she'd end things with Leo. But I couldn't trust her anymore. The weirdest part of all this, I still don't know who sent that letter. I thought it might have been Leo's wife or girlfriend, but when I tried to dig into his life, I found nothing. It was like he didn't exist. Now I'm in therapy trying to piece myself back together. Some days are better than others. I'm not sure if I'll ever trust someone like that again, but I'm taking it one step at a time. As for Lara, I filed for divorce. She's still reaching out, trying to make things right, but there's no going back. Sometimes I wonder if I'd still be in the dark if it weren't for that letter. Whoever sent it, wherever they are, they saved me from living a lie. And for that, I'll always be grateful. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. See you next time on Story Voyage, where every story is an adventure.